Good morning, class. This is the week of December 7th through the 11th. Today is National Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day. When we were bombed in the beginning of World War II, they started at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. The Arizona was one of the battleships that were actually bombed. Okay, we also have coming up this week National Pastry Day. I love pastry. And on the 10th, we have National Human Rights Day, which is also the same day that Hanukkah begins. Okay, and then on the 11th, we have National Noodle Ring Day. That sounds fun, Miss Lacey. Can we make some noodle rings? And on the 12th, which is Friday, we have National. Oh, there's two national things. One of them is Dingling Day. Oh, Miss Maddie, don't say it. I know what you're thinking. And National Gingerbread Day. Maybe we should make a gingerbread house. All right, so let's begin our week. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance, and I will see you on the other side.
Good day, explorers! Broadcast Cal here with the Pledge of Allegiance. Everyone stand up and say it with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Nice job, everyone! Now get out there and explore, discover, and create. Broadcast Cal out!
Clarendon Learning explores the attack on Pearl Harbor for kids. Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy, the United States was suddenly and deliberately attacked. These words were spoken by Franklin D. Roosevelt, President of the United States of America. Have you heard the word infamy before? The word infamy means criminal or outrageously shameful. Did you know that the United States was attacked in 1941? Did you know that the United States was attacked in the middle of the Pacific Ocean? The Pacific Ocean is huge and the largest ocean in the world. In the center of the Pacific Ocean are a chain of islands, the islands of Hawaii. Of these islands is the island of Oahu, a beautiful island of lush, vertical mountains, dormant volcanoes, and on the south shore, a wide, complex harbor fed by a single inlet. This is Pearl Harbor. It was the perfect place for the U.S. Navy. Plenty of room to park many ships of the Pacific Fleet and an airfield. The Armada would be well protected from an attack from the sea, but maybe not a surprise attack from the air. At that time, Hawaii was not a state, but it was a U.S. territory. Much of the world was at war. Europe was resisting the invasion of Nazi Germany, and Asia was trying to prevent the onslaught from the Empire of Japan. Yes, in 1939, much of the world was at war, but not America. The Americans were just trying to recover from the Great Depression. The Americans did not want to join in any war. Imperial Japan, however, wanted to plant the flag of the rising sun all over China by any means necessary. The nation of Japan needed natural resources, including oil to power their war machine, and the military would do whatever it took to get it. They were belligerent and violent and showed no mercy, as was the Nanking Massacre, for example, when Japanese soldiers raped and murdered between 200,000 to 300,000 Chinese civilians. The attack was brutal and continued for 6 weeks. As a response to this awful Holocaust, the Dutch, Great Britain, and the United States agreed to impose an oil embargo upon Japan, preventing Japan from getting the fuel they desperately needed. The U.S. participated without fully entering the war. This, of course, was unacceptable to the Japanese Empire. In retaliation, their plan was to destroy the Navy of the United States. The naval base at Pearl Harbor must be destroyed. A well-organized and carefully conceived plan was put into motion. Hundreds of aircraft, including dive bombers, fighters, and torpedo planes, loaded on 6 Japanese carriers, along with submarines and midget subs, and other ships made their way to reach striking distance of the naval base at Pearl Harbor and other targets in the South Pacific. It was a Sunday morning, just before 8 a.m. on December 7th, 1941. Without warning, a surprise attack by the military forces of the Empire of Japan struck the shipyard at Pearl Harbor. The radio call went out from the Japanese fighter planes. The message was Tora, 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 which meant the U.S. was caught totally by surprise. They hit Hickam Airfield, destroying most of the fighter planes and bombers. The 8 ships on Battleship Row at Ford Island were all hit and either damaged or sunk. The Arizona, the California, the Maryland, the Nevada, the Oklahoma, the Pennsylvania, the Tennessee, and the West Virginia. Many other ships and targets were hit, resulting in severe injuries and loss of precious lives, both military and civilian. This is the USS Arizona Memorial, the only battleship at Pearl not to be repaired and returned to duty. It is a sacred place. Of the 1,177 Marines and sailors killed on this vessel during the attack, 1,102 were never recovered. This is their final resting place. The response of the United States was swift and immediate. The sleeping giant had been wrestled from its sleep. The very next day, President Franklin D. Roosevelt spoke these words, which will never be forgotten.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan.
Please check out the Clarendon Learning lesson pages on the attack on Pearl Harbor and the video on World War II presented by Clarendon Learning. Thanks for following Clarendon Learning. Be sure to subscribe. For more free resources, check us out at clarendonlearning.org.
Grab your chopsticks and get ready to grind because today is National Noodle Day and we're celebrating with one of the best, Sun Noodle. Rachel Morai, marketing assistant, and Terry Togashi, sales manager with Sun Noodle, join us this morning with all the delicious details on how you can celebrate today. Good morning, folks.
Good morning.
So happy to have you because, again, it is National Noodle Day, and of course, we had to talk to one of the best here in the island. So, for those who don't know about what today is, can you explain what National Noodle Day means?
Well, National Noodle Day is a day to celebrate noodles around the world. Noodles have been around the world for over 4,000 years and have a limitless amount of combinations and recipes. Some of these recipes can be found in salads, soups, entrees, and even desserts.
And why is Sun Noodle in particular promoting this day?
Okay, so we're promoting today because we've noticed since the beginning of this pandemic, a lot of our restaurant partners have suffered tremendously. So as a community, we need to do our part and support local restaurants so that they can keep their doors open.
Definitely. And speaking of supporting our local community, what are some of the noodles that you would recommend?
Well, me personally, I would recommend a comforting bowl of saimin or even ramen if you want something savory and warm. If you're just hanging around with friends and family, socially responsible, of course, definitely try something like yakisoba, our chow mein, or our chow fun. And also, October is National Pasta Month as well. So you can get some pasta at your local pasta or Italian restaurants, and these are just a few noodle options that I would definitely recommend.
Definitely. And what else can the community do to help the small businesses that are in need right now?
So all that we ask from Sun Noodle is that the community supports its small local businesses and to frequently visit your local restaurants, whether it's a noodle restaurant or not. We as a community need to support our local food industry, Ohana, through these trying times.
Definitely. And tell us about something maybe that for Sun Noodle that people might not know before, about how many noodles and different types you guys make.
Well, here at Sun Noodle, we make more than just Japanese-styled noodles. Surprisingly, we also make noodles for Italian, Chinese, Taiwanese, Filipino, Korean, and even Vietnamese restaurants.
Wow. So you guys cover all the bases.
Definitely, we do.
Perfect. And in regards to National Noodle Day, is there anything else that Sun Noodle has been cooking up?
Yeah, actually, we're planning in the near future to open an online store where customers can get all of their favorite Sun Noodle retail products and come pick it up at our facility. It will be a curbside pickup to limit the exposure between our customers and our employees to ensure safety for everyone.
Perfect. And for those who want to celebrate with maybe a dish from Sun Noodles, some great Sun Noodle dishes, where can we find your guys' noodles? Where can we pick them up?
So you can find our noodles at pretty much every single retail store on the island and even the neighbor islands as well. So we have really great partnerships with all the major retailers throughout the island chain.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining us. And again, celebrate National Noodle Day today, whether it's going out to support your favorite local restaurant, going to the store, grabbing a couple packs of Sun Noodles. Make sure you eat to your heart's content. Thank you both again for joining us this morning, and happy Noodle Day.
Oh, Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance a hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Set it on to play with and like us to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago.
Oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Sevivant to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. Yeah! Oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Sevivant to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago.